We're going to beat all of these countries that are taking so much of our money away from us. When you see Pfizer moving to Ireland, we can't let that happen. In the old days, you'd leave New York and go down to Florida. Now, because of the way the world is so different, you leave the United States and you go to Ireland. Ireland.
Donald Trump.
Who's Donald Trump?
I think people here feel that he is a bit of a wild card.
He has very strong opinions about women and about immigrants, and I don't agree with any of them.
He's a misogynist, he's a racist.
But other than that, he's just a person, with a lot of money.
If Donald Trump was elected president of Ireland, would you consider moving to a small foreign island?
Yes, I actually would. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, thankfully, but I would move anywhere that Donald Trump was not.
Before we applied for the job to come and work here, we had never heard of Inishtark. You know, it was the furthest thing from our mind that this is where we would end up, and now suddenly everybody's talking about it.
The rumour that was put out through an article that was written about Inishtark was that there were a number of Americans who were so scared of Donald Trump getting in that they were looking to get out of the country, and the place they wanted to come to was Inishtark. The immediate effect of it was that our Facebook page was inundated with people contacting the island. What we weren't expecting was that actually so many people would take it seriously.
There's a sort of a sense of tranquility about the island. It's a kind of a very peaceful place. Most of the people in the island are involved in either agriculture or fishing. Fishing lobsters, fishing pollock, fishing mackerel. And I think the population, the people here are actually very welcoming.
I personally would love it if hordes of Americans came here. Maybe they would build a skyscraper on Inishtark.
I was born and reared on Inishtark Island. I'm very proud of it. It's a lovely island, very easy to live in. No crime, no big chain supermarkets. It's a lovely, lovely place to live in.
Population decline is our biggest problem. So if people really felt that the country became so unbearable, because of a Trump presidency, that they had to leave, by all means, you're welcome here if we can find space for you. But I don't think running away is the answer for anybody. I've lived away from Ireland several times, but I would never leave because of politicians.
We're standing on Doonbeg Strand, where a golf course was developed 17 years ago and has now been bought by Donald Trump. But in order to protect his golf course from the natural forces of erosion on the dune system, Mr. Trump plans to build a rock-armored wall almost 2 miles long. If he builds this wall, he'll stop the sand replenishing the dunes. He'll stop the dunes developing, and he'll actually kill the whole dune system.
I will build the greatest wall that you've ever seen.
I think Trump thinks he can control things by building walls, and that's why he's building this wall here, because he thinks he can control the sea.
So Doonbeg, do you know about Doonbeg? I guess most of you do, right? And we've spent a lot of money on making it just perfecto, and now it's doing great. But I don't care about that stuff anymore. That's like small potatoes, right? I'll let my kids run it, have fun with it, and let my executives have a good time, but I don't care about it. I care about making America great again. That's what I care about.
If Donald Trump became president of Ireland, would you consider moving to a small foreign island?
Yes.
Yes. Would I move away from him? No, I would do everything within my power to help everybody redirect their votes away from him, so that sort of situation would never, ever, ever come about.
Irish people really love their politics, so that wouldn't be tolerated. I'm an immigrant in Ireland, even though now I have citizenship. I came from Mexico, but I'm not a rapist, I'm not a criminal. A friend of mine who's very talented and I had this idea that we should make a piñata of Trump and whack it for charity.
I'd probably move to Madagascar if Donald Trump became president of Ireland. I'd try to get as far away from that guy as possible.
Mr. Trump seems to be very focused on developing businesses, and I would say he'd have a chance of becoming quite a popular guy here, because those are the kinds of things that I think people in Innistark might like.
What do you know about Donald Trump?
Just what I see on the telly. Is he an actor? Was he an actor?
Have you heard the internet rumor that Inishturk might be welcoming any American who wants to come should Donald Trump win the presidential election?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard that.
Well, if we did come, what would you say?
Oh, we'd have welcomed with open arms, of course.
Thank you very much.
Inishturk is a very welcoming place, and we certainly would love to see some families moving in. Inishturk wouldn't be prepared right now for a horde of people, but certainly if one or two families came the way, we would do our best in trying to accommodate them.
If lots of people really did want to move here, what would we do? How would we cope with it? You know, are we able to cope with it? I think it raises questions within the community about what is the community? You know, is the community the families who've been here always? Is it something else if lots of people come in?
I really do see a parallel between what's happening in the United States and what's happening here. People want to see borders. They don't necessarily want people pouring into their country that they don't know who they are and where they come from. They have no idea.
I think it's really, really important that the island maintains its integrity, maintains its structure, maintains its culture, maintains all the things that makes it such a great place to be, and also to look at how it can be developed in a balanced way, because there's no point in developing it if it loses everything that it has.
What would you say to the potential hordes of Trump refugees if they do want to come to Inishturk?
Well, just to get the ferry times, first of all, to get the schedule.
He can never get it right.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. If you will bend and whisper that you love me, then I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.